Hey, everybody.
Jump right in. You just, hey, we're going in. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Not All Here podcast.
Yeah, I got some info for you.
What's that?
We've been doing this podcast for a year.
Oh, wait, is this like when we dropped the first episode?
Something like that.
Wow.
You know how social media will show you the reminder? Hey, this happened a year ago.
Yeah.
I saw that.
For the first episode?
Something like that. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
holy shit.
A lot of something.
It makes me think of you know how sometimes in like TV shows they'll have like reminiscing moments. Mm-hmm. That's where like we hit certain topics and then it cuts to like me speaking Italian. You remember that episode where I was like,
that was great.
Or like the Baptist church moment that I had.
We need a highlight episode.
I know, just the funniest moments of the first year.
What if we did an episode where we just chopped all of our Not All Here moments, the best Not All Here moments, and put them together?
That'd be dope.
Yeah,
I'll talk with that. Maybe that might come out because then we'd have to like export all the episodes we have. We're on episode 46, by the way, and we just had to chop because the first two that came out were those two, and then the other one was
find the best ones.
Oh yeah, I'm trying to think. It might come out.
Yeah,
maybe New Year, before New Year's, drop it. People relive.
I want my marinara sauce.
Yeah, that always. Well, like I was like, damn, this is a weird ass moment. But welcome to episode 46 of the Not All Here podcast. Of course.
Everybody.
Hi, I hope you're having I already forgot because this is like basically turned into bi-weekly.
A Merry Christmas and a Jolly Thanksgiving.
Exactly. We hope that you guys had a great week. This is the start of a new week because I just realized this comes out tomorrow when we're recording this. And we're in the Thanksgiving mode now / basically Christmas.
Yeah.
Because you're starting to see it's always weird to me how as soon as October ends and like Halloween's over, then it's like boom. It's like, all right, now it's the holiday season.
I heard the price of turkey doubled.
Really?
Inflation. I don't know if they're just trying to scare people.
Oh.
But I think turkey's price went up.
I thought you were gonna say they were going on strike. They didn't want to get caught.
They'd like to go on strike.
And then that reminds me, isn't it crazy that every year a turkey gets pardoned? Mm-hmm. So like they don't die. Mm-hmm. I feel like they still get killed. They're like, just throw them in the back. Just put them back there.
Well, that's the mama turkey that just has the babies that get killed.
Damn, that's messed up.
She's got to do what she's got to do.
She's like, fuck y'all, I'm out.
Can we just say that turkey is a little bit overrated?
I agree.
It's very dry.
It's very...
Unless somebody just cooks it perfectly and they somehow do it.
Yeah. Have you ever had turkey that's been, what is it?
Deep fried?
Deep fried?
Mm-hmm. Those are like the juiciest ones.
Are they?
Yeah.
And it's like every year people always burn up their houses because they don't know how to do it right.
You never had a deep fried one?
No, never.
Those are like a little less dry.
Really?
They do it right. Yeah.
I might have to try it, but I won't cook it. Hopefully if somebody's offering.
I have a very faint memory as a kid of somebody doing this. And I think maybe the turkey was too cold or maybe frozen. Mm-hmm. And they put it in the boiling, whatever.
Okay.
And it kind of made an explosion.
Whoa.
But it was outside, so.
That's wild. Because, they almost have to, like, lower it in like a crane and just slowly. Because if not, you have to fill it up to a certain point. Because if not, it'll overflow. And that's what causes, like, fires and shit. And so, it's real wild. Let me ask you this, since we're on the topic of Thanksgiving. What's your favorite, like, side to go with turkey?
I'm going to have to say sweet potatoes.
Sweet potatoes?
Yeah, or my mom makes...
yams?
I don't really know the difference between those two. I know there's a difference, but I don't exactly know. But my mom also does these green beans that are really weird, but it's like shallots.
Okay,
They're kind of burnt.
Okay.
And little, she put bacon on them too. I don't know. She does something. Her green beans are really weird.
Oh, okay.
But amazing.
That's so interesting. I didn't think you would say that.
And then the sweet potatoes, you put butter and crumbled up pecans on top.
Okay. It's so interesting. Because, like, my favorite thing of all time, ever since I was a kid, is stuffing. I love stuffing.
I'm not a big stuffing guy.
Man, I don't know what it is.
Do you like the more mashed up one or the more almost like chopped bread one?
I'll say I kind of like the chopped bread one a little bit more. Just not by a lot, but by a little bit. And so... because I was listening, it's funny, earlier to another podcast, they were talking about stuff that's overrated, and people were like, Thanksgiving's overrated.
Have you ever had a Thanksgiving where your family rebels against the typical food? Say, hey, everybody, let's just do Chinese for Thanksgiving.
I think I had that once, and then it quickly went back the next
Oh,
year.
yeah? We did that once. I think one time we had like scallops and steak.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, for some reason.
Did y'all, and then the next year, did y'all just go back?
We went back.
Wow. I do remember one year, way long time ago, back when we were a kid, when one Thanksgiving, I think usually we would get all our family together in the house or whatever, like most people, but everybody was like doing their own thing. And then like my mom was like, I don't want to cook. And we went to like a buffet, a Chinese buffet or like a Golden Corral buffet.
Okay.
Because they're usually open on there to, people who don't have a place to go or like don't want to cook or anything.
I had one Thanksgiving where we went to a restaurant.
Yeah. It's always so interesting because it's like, it feels kind of weird sometimes to me.
We went somewhere that had Thanksgiving food, and the whole time we were eating this, we were like, oh, this isn't as good as homemade. this sucks. This isn't good.
I think the one time we went to Golden Corral, I actually thought, I was like, wow, this is pretty good. Like whoever the chef was, I was like, dang, he blowing it up over here. He doing it. But yeah, so.
I've been to a buffet in like years. What's the last buffet you went to?
I think the last buffet was probably when I was younger. It had to have been like a Golden Corral or like you remember, I don't know if you know CC's Pizza.
When you say younger, you're talking like.
I'm talking like 16.
Damn, it's been longer for you than me.
Yeah. Sheesh. I think it's because I only went to buffets because my mom was like, here you go. Like you got your whole selection. You have a lot of stuff to choose from. And then after a while, there was a point, I don't know if maybe you remember this, but for me, there was a point where people were like, buffets are bad because you're kind of like overeating.
Yeah. And
then they were like, this whole trend started towards like, you should, be eating a serving of whatever. And then that changed things, You
ever been to Ryan's?
I think one time.
You have the rolls?
I think I did you talking about like the buttery, like Hawaiian rolls? Yeah.
Probably Golden Corral has like the same thing.
Yeah, but I don't think they have as good rolls as that. Because I remember that they look really good under that hot light. Because they're like buttered on the top.
You need to go to a buffet.
Man, I'm trying to think of like what's even a good buffet anymore. Chinese buffet? Something like that.
Panda Express is just a buffet that
basically
you have to, but you only
get one plate.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically. And hey, they'd be real like lenient. They're like, you want, rice, they'll just throw like 5 scoops in there and just like overpack it, which bless them for that. But yeah, but it's interesting because I think this year we're doing Thanksgiving here, or I'm doing it here in Atlanta.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Not going home.
No, for Christmas I'm going home unless it snows. Cause I don't like being somewhere where it's like the roads are crazy. Cause I'm like, well, we just gonna be stuck, But anyway, there was some stuff.
Are y'all cooking?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Cooking your own Thanksgiving?
Well, no, my bad. We're doing it with my partner's family.
Oh, okay.
And we're still trying to figure it out at the end of the day. But I'm thinking about cooking something for the dinner. Because you remember that one year we had a Thanksgiving dinner at the house?
I do remember that.
Yeah. And I was like, because I think everybody was staying in Atlanta. I was like, man, let's just cook here.
Why did everyone stay? Why did I stay?
Well, I know usually...
work. I must have been working.
It might have been work or something. And then I was like, oh, man, well, let me cook something here for everybody. Yeah. So I cooked a turkey, stuffing.
I remember that. That was cool.
Some of the stuff. And I was like, bet, just for everybody to have something to eat. What was I going to say? There are some stuff. I actually have some topics that I wanted to talk about. It's like a whole list of stuff.
I'm ready.
These are going to be, some of these might be short, some of these might be long, depending on how we go on them. So, first thing I wanted to talk about, this is something short. You've seen Squid Games, right?
Yes.
Season 2 is announced. I don't know if you heard that. It's not coming out soon, but it's the guy who wrote it. He's like, I'm just starting on it now. So it's early stages. Okay. And then now people are actually talking about that there should be an American version, which I kind of feel like there shouldn't be. It's just going to be like, I feel like it just won't be as good. You should he did it and let them do it,
I agree.
And because I feel like trying to rework it into like an American version I feel like it just won't be as good.
It's just going to be like the Purge, but a game show.
Basically, I feel like there was a movie like that already, but anyway, season 2 is announced, which is super dope. I'm excited for that. Also, did you know
this dude gonna have red hair?
Oh, that's interesting. I hope so.
I hope so as well.
he looked like Ronald McDonald. It's so interesting. Did you see that thing where LeBron James tweeted, like, he was like, "Hey, go see your daughter."
Okay, so LeBron didn't tweet this.
Oh, he didn't?
No, it was a press conference, and then you know how they have little press conferences after every basketball game.
Yeah.
So then at the end, he was getting up, and Anthony Davis was talking to him, and it was just like a conversation in passing that the microphones picked up.
Whoa!
But LeBron James is so famous that it just went viral on the internet, and then the creator got strangely
upset.
mad.
Yeah, it was wild. I was like,
He's
damn,
like, make your own show. Like, come on, dude.
My thing is, so then do they know if he was talking about Squid Games or he just randomly? Oh, he was.
I mean, he had to be talking about Squid Games.
That's crazy. And he was like, make your own show, and then I'll watch it, and I'll be like, you go see your dad.
You gotta take criticism better than that.
Yeah, maybe he just feels like, as he feels like he's been down for so long, now he's up, and he's like, man, F you, like
Yeah, I don't know what that's about.
But it's super funny. But anyway, season 2 announced. That's super dope. Can't wait till that comes out in 3 years or whenever it comes out.
Yeah, I agree.
There's one thing that I saw recently. So did you know YouTube actually took away the dislike button?
Oh, I saw something about this. I didn't click on it.
Yeah, so YouTube, basically, they're rolling in this thing where you can no longer see how many people disliked a video. So you can't see the number at all. You can still see the like counter, I think. But I don't know if it's on all videos yet, but it's on like real popular like YouTubers or things like that. And so they said the reason for it was because to help with creators not feeling kind of like, anxiety or like, any mental health type of things. Mm-hmm. And to not deal with that. And then it's funny because I was watching, if you know Marcus Brownlee, he's like the tech, he's this tech YouTuber guy, super dope. And he was talking about it and how this could possibly be an issue for videos. Because most of the time, his reasoning was that this might be bad is because most people look at, how many upvotes or downvotes a video has to let you know whether or not it's even a good video. Uh-huh. And an example he made recently was that somebody had posted a YouTube video that said season 2 trailer for Squid Games. Oh. But because you couldn't see how many people disliked it, people didn't realize that it was a fake trailer until after actually watching the video and spending time on there. And so there was a few other reasons, but he was like, this is an example as to that could like mess people up.
I'm a fan of the dislike button.
Me too.
Stop being so soft. Toughen up. You know what I mean?
Stop being a marshmallow. Get roasted.
Yes.
I get it.
A couple people, I'm not shitting on mental health.
Of course.
A couple people downvote your video. Like,
I feel like that's always gonna be there.
What's the worst that could happen?
Exactly.
I'd rather a downvote than a negative comment.
Oh boy.
People can shit on you in the
comments. Them YouTube comments be brutal.
God.
You'll get like, it's funny because every now and then we'll get these random comments, and you remember those like long paragraph comments we would get.
Yeah.
And so, but I think I don't know if I've ever seen a bad comment, but on our stuff now people are gonna start commenting.
Yeah.
Stuff. But I get it. I think that it should be left in there just because it's like, because then it kind of feels like it's unbalanced now. That's my thing. I think people should be, let me not say open to criticism, but people should be allowed to criticize. And then the person who gets criticized has the option to be like, well, I'm not going to listen to you.
Social media is this weird thing, though, because let's say this was Instagram. I would feel weird if there was a dislike button on Instagram.
Whoa, okay.
Because, imagine somebody just puts up a selfie and then I just go dislike your selfie.
That makes sense.
It's just like, I hate this person.
That makes sense.
So YouTube is kind of like a video version of that, but I don't feel weird about the dislike button on YouTube.
I
don't know.
I think maybe what it is Instagram feels like you're closely connected because it's you. Uh-huh. And then YouTube feels more like you're a little bit more distant because it's just a video that someone created and so on and so forth. Because that would be weird on Instagram. Because I was about to say, put a dislike button on Instagram. But
you put up this really nice, selfie or this heartwarming story, and
then dislike.
Somebody's dislike. Be like, damn.
That's hilarious. It makes me think. This is something similar to, Instagram. They're still doing it. I don't know if all accounts have it now, but they took away how many people liked. You can see, a post.
It's weird. For certain accounts they did, and certain accounts they didn't.
Yeah.
I have a bunch of Instagram accounts, and on some accounts I can't see it, but on other accounts I still can. So
yeah, it's real interesting because like I still don't. I don't know if that's even worked, or if somebody, I wonder if there's like a group of studies going on or something to see if it has any effect. Because I don't think it does really, but that's just me who paid the numbers. So, but yeah, YouTube's doing that, and I don't know whether or not they're going to keep doing it or roll back on it. But a lot of people are against it.
Can I say one thing about YouTube? Mm-hmm. They started showing ads on my videos.
YouTube.
But I'm not monetized. I can't get paid for that yet.
They're trying to take advantage of you, bro.
But somebody's getting paid for that. YouTube. I want my money. YouTube.
Yeah, it's crazy. I remember, like, I don't know if it was different, but now the monetization is you have to get, what is it?
It's tough.
4,000 subscribers?
No, or 1,000 subscribers, but 4,000 hours watched.
Or isn't it either or? When it's either you get 1,000 subscribers or 4,000 hours.
I think it's both.
Is it both now?
You got to have 4 things.
Wow.
You have to have non-factor authorization or whatever that authorization thing is called.
Yeah.
Subscribers, view hours, and you can't have 0 strikes within a certain time frame.
They're trying to make it hard.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Unless I'm wrong. I think I'm right.
YouTube's going to be like, that's not correct.
Well.
They're like, give me my money. It's so interesting. Do you ever, let me ask you this since we're on YouTube. Do you think there's going to be another platform that's going to take over YouTube, or you think it's going to be here for a while? Like that'll be the number one place that people go. Spot. You think so?
I mean, what would cause the change? Like, I just feel like it's the place for videos now. Like,
I don't know. I guess.
Could you see a change?
Yeah, but
I think it's too big at this point. It's like Google. Like, is there going to be a search engine that gets bigger than Google.com?
It's interesting. I think it'll probably be a really long time before something like just takes it over. Because I mean, remember, people used to be on Yahoo, and then Google came in and took over everything.
That is true.
I just think it has to be like whatever YouTube is plus something else like on top of it that just makes it like even doper.
Maybe Instagram.
Oh, YouTube and Instagram together. I think that's what YouTube's trying to do with those. You ever see that YouTube stories?
There's too many stories. You know, Spotify has stories.
What?
Yeah.
No, I didn't know
artists can have stories now.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Everybody, get off your phone. Go into nature.
I'm gonna go buy a new phone today.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
Oh, you getting a new one?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Get that iPhone 13 if they got it.
Wow, man, you about to be into like you in the future now. You about to be up there. You're gonna be like, what the hell's going on with this phone?
I don't want it, but
your phone's acting up on you. So the next thing I wanted to talk about, another topic, is so I don't know if you keeping up with this. They released remastered versions of Grand Theft Auto 3, Vice City, and San Andreas. I
saw pictures on Twitter of just screwed up faces. They made them look funny?
No. So what ended up happening was it came out for PS4, PS5, the new Xbox, Nintendo Switch, and PC. And then what people started just happening is if you bought it on PC, there's a lot of bugs. And that's where all these crazy looking things are coming up.
Okay.
And so a lot of people were like, yo, some of it's unplayable. You can't even play. I was actually excited to buy it, but I ended up not getting to it because what ended up happening is Rockstar, who made the game, they pulled it. And so they pulled it from, you can't buy it on PC. You can buy it on the systems and stuff, but you just can't get it on there because people were complaining so much that they pulled it.
Because you said recently you were replaying one of them, right?
I was playing Grand Theft Auto 3, but it was the older version with just updated like mods and stuff where you could play it on your computer. And I wanted to get this one because I was like, oh, it looks cool. I like how it looks. But then all of a sudden you see all these videos of the crazy shit that's on there. And it's like, what have they done? And so now I think they're trying to like fix everything and then try to push it back out there for people who had issues with it. But it's dope because I think for me, that game's really nostalgic. And that hit me like at the certain time. I was like, whoa, this is crazy. So that happened and made for a lot of funny different clips and stuff that you see on there that's like, what the fuck?
I'm with it. I'd play it if I was playing games.
Yep.
I'm not a game playing guy anymore. They need to remaster Tetris. They need to
They actually have. I was like, have you seen there's a Tetris game you can play against 100 other people?
What?
So it's like,
how do I play it?
So the way that it works is like I think it's 100 other people if you're playing online or however many that there are available, and you're each in your own, I guess, little square that you're playing. And every time you clear blocks out, it sends it to other people's charts.
What?
And so you're going back and forth and trying to mess the other person up till you're like the last man standing.
Damn.
I feel like you might be a whiz at that.
Show me the way.
But it looked dope.
That. Okay.
It's like Tetris something future sounding. I don't know. But moving on to another topic that I wanted to talk about real quick. Of course, it's sad to hear what happened at Astroworld.
Yes.
It's real crazy now. I think the death count came to 9 now.
Oh, really?
Yeah. One more person, I think it was a woman. I can't remember her name, but apologies. She passed away. She was in like intensive care, and then she ended up passing away recently. So it's crazy. I don't know about you, because I don't know if you're on social media a lot, but I was on social media when the things were first announced of what happened, and it just felt like kind of like a, what is it, like a, not a maybe a landslide, or just whenever avalanche. It felt like an avalanche where one thing after another just kept coming up. This happened, this happened. Yeah. People knew about it. And it's really crazy because I was also on a friend's podcast, my homie Byron, shout out to his podcast. But it's very interesting because I was paying attention to how people reacted to it and what they were feeling and what they were posting and tweeting as far as like Travis Scott should get canceled and all this other stuff, which I was like, I don't think it's really his fault to a certain extent. But I wanted to hear your thoughts on like what you thought about it and like how do you feel about it?
I think it's a tough position because you know when you're up on that stage, right, and there's thousands of people and you're performing, are you really even seeing them? Are you really even noticing things? You know what I mean? Like, okay, I've barely performed, right?
Yeah.
But when I was on stage, I couldn't tell you what happened out in
front of me. Crowd and stuff.
No clue.
You're focused on like performing and stuff.
And I imagine somebody like him, it's 1,000 times bigger. Like,
bro, I think there was like around 50,000 people or something like that, but it was 20,000 over the amount that they considered safe.
And I think he does do things, and I was reading a lot of stuff too, where he encourages some bad behavior. Yeah, he's done tweets before where he's like, oh, get the people in, or even the people with no tickets, we're getting them in to break in, or just doing all kind of crazy stuff
encouraging,
like that.
Stuff like that.
So he encourages stuff like that, but I don't think anyone ever expected it to go to the level
that it did
of people dying and things just getting crazy.
Yeah. Have you ever seen those videos of like people who are like jumping over gates and stuff to get in?
Yeah, to get in.
It was like, I think even there was a video that someone posted of the merch booth and how like, so they had like this maze set up for people to walk and they were just like, fuck it, jumping. And then it got so packed almost that it looked like it was like where they were performing.
I didn't see that one.
It was real wild.
It's kind of confusing because, you read stories and people say, oh, like it was hell, you know what I mean? And it was so tough. But then you see other videos. I don't know if you saw the Drake video when Drake came on stage.
I think so.
But it just looked like the crowd was having the time of their life and everybody was happy and you couldn't tell there was anything messed up occurring.
True. I think probably what happens is because people have to remember when you're in a concert or like a festival like that, there's a lot of stuff going on. And so to kind of like just focus in on one thing is really hard.
Yeah.
Like you were saying, being on stage. And then especially somebody like him, for as many people as there were there, it's almost like he's like, it's just like ants everywhere. You're like, I don't know, I just see people's faces maybe, and it's hard to be able to hear anybody if they're yelling over music or stuff, or really more than anything, man, it's like, I kind of feel like it's more so the fault of, there should have been like a protocol to happen where like, I guess they should have had better like, I guess just better EMTs or something like that. People who could take care of people, and there should have been like a thing of like, okay, if something like this happens, we need to be able to get people who are in that thing out quicker and as quickly as possible.
Also wonder if, there was some bad drugs, bad batches.
Oh, yeah.
And I even saw a video. I don't know if this was true or people were spreading like misinformation. I don't know. But at a Travis Scott show, there was somebody called the Perk Fairy. Did you see this?
Perk Fairy? I did not see this.
It was some guy who was just passing out like
just drugs. Wow.
And people would walk over and they would open their mouth.
That's really weird.
And it's a stranger, and he would just drop in, a Percocet.
Yeah. That's really weird because especially if you don't know him, you don't know what the
Yeah.
fuck's in there. That's wild.
So you've been to like way more shows than me.
Yeah.
Have you ever like had a incident or like just something you felt went crazy or just a weird incident?
I mean, I think there have been a few times. Like I know, like I think 2 examples off the top of my head, maybe 3. Where I remember one time going to a Dom Kennedy show. This was when he had dropped an album.
I wouldn't expect things to get crazy at a Dom Kennedy.
Yeah.
I'd expect it to be very chill and laid back.
For the most part, it was, but it's just like the people were there. So everybody is like not really pushing against each other, but we're close to each other, shoulder to shoulder. And randomly, like I didn't know this was happening until like 5 seconds after the fact that it started, but 2 people got into a fight because what ends up happening is, or I actually remember 3 things, but 2 people got into a fight, 2 guys, and you can just tell that something happened because Dom stopped rapping. And then in the middle of the crowd, me and a friend of mine were over to the left. It just kind of like opened up and you're like, what the fuck is going on? Fight, whatever. It happened a few seconds. They got kicked out, whatever. Now, I do remember, because you just reminded me, I do remember a crazy thing happening one year at A3C when there was that kind of like shooting. But it wasn't really a shooting. So,
Lil Wayne show.
Yeah.
Dude, I was there.
You were there?
But I left early.
Oh.
I was at that, I didn't see Lil Wayne perform.
Okay, yeah.
I got in. I forget how I got in. I got in for free.
I was there taking photos.
I forgot how that happened.
Because, I would always work A3C, if you remember. And so what had happened was, for media, they didn't really have like a media pit. You were like, you have to be in the VIP pit. And I was like, okay. And I was chilling there next to a friend of mine, and she was just chilling and vibing. And I kind of picked a spot not up to like the front of the gate, but kind of like maybe 2 or 3 people back. And I had like my camera, and I was just taking photos. Wayne comes out, and it's like packed. It's like packed as fuck there. And then he does like maybe 2 or 3 songs, and we're just taking photos. All of a sudden, the energy just shifts. Like you just feel it in the crowd. And then all of a sudden, you hear somebody yell, "Gun." And that automatically causes like everybody to be like, oh shit, I don't want to get shot. So in the front, and then even in the back, what happens is people just start pushing forward. And what they don't realize is that the people that are at the front of the gate are starting to get squished. And so everybody's trying to get everybody to calm down. People are yelling gun. There's cops coming in, da-da-da. And people are like pushing over shit, run over. And it's like a really crazy scene because like everybody's basically trying to, run for their life. And it's crazy because like a lot of people are like fell to the ground, and some of them might have got stepped on or something like that. And it caused a scene. And then at the end of the day, the guy that the cops were after didn't even have a gun. It was more so the cop pulled out like a taser or whatever. And then somebody yelled it. But it's crazy that one thing, that somebody yelling gun, caused all this mass hysteria. And it's crazy because you don't know what's happening. I didn't know if I was like, oh, we're about to hear some shots. And so like, because I kind of moved out the way and then jumped over the gate, ran into backstage. And it was like crazy because everybody was kind of like, what's going on? Do you know what's happening? Do you know what's happening? What happened? What happened? And some people are running, and it's like real crazy. And it's really wild.
I wonder if you got me in that show. Did you give me a wristband?
Did I? I might have.
You gave me a wristband.
Yeah. I don't know. But yeah, so I remember that actually, it's crazy because that moment with what happened at A3C kind of messed up the festival and changed a lot of things.
Yeah.
And so really wild. But I remember that there was another, this wasn't like crazy, but it's just wild to me that there can be energy like this in a place. So when I was on tour with Crip, he performed in Atlanta twice at the Tabernacle. If you know that, it's like this thing, this event center, really for concerts or whatever. It used to be a church. It's a really big place.
Yeah.
And I remember being there, and I was the videographer, photographer, doing all that. And when he first came out, when Crit came out, the energy in that place was like, yo, this feels like it's about to explode. And then I remember I was down in the crowd taking shots of him performing and the people and stuff. And man, there was a moment where I was like, people were jumping up and down all at the same time, and the floor kind of felt like it was bending. Dude, it's really wild.
I saw Kendrick Lamar at the Tabernacle. I thought the floor was going to collapse.
Yeah. Yeah.
He did his whole set, and then he didn't do All Right. So he went in the back, and then, they did a little encore. He came out and did All Right. And it's like, we gonna be all right. And then at that point, the entire crowd was just jumping.
Wow.
And the floor was literally
like bending, almost like water.
You could feel it.
It's like you don't feel safe when stuff like that. You're like, holy shit.
Yeah.
And I remember, there was a moment like that. I was like, Jesus Christ, this almost feels like, how much can this floor take before it just gives? Because then I remember when it was happening, I was thinking of there's a basement below it.
Yeah.
And I've been down there. I'm like, this is a high jump.
It is. It's a big basement. I was down there too.
And then especially if people come falling down on you.
Oh my God.
It makes me think of, you ever seen that video of that college campus where they're having a party in like an apartment and everybody's like in this floor, they were playing like some Chief Keef song.
I think I saw it.
And then the floor gave way.
Yeah.
That's a motherfucking scary sight.
You
see
like the Indian wedding?
Oh my God, I saw that. That's terrifying.
Shit.
But it's like, I remember seeing that video and like, that's a big floor that gave away.
Yeah.
Because they were all just so like, over that, in that little part, like that rectangular part, and just seeing people disappear. I'm like, damn, bro. But I was saying, it's to say all of that, to kind of bring it back to the Travis Scott thing, is I can only imagine. I understand people being upset that stuff happened, and I understand them expressing that there should have been precautions taken, or like we could have done better. At the end of the day, I kind of feel like it's a mixture. The blame goes on everybody. Like, and some people might be like, what do you mean? How dare you say that? That's not right. Well, look, at the end of the day, those are like kids, and I say kids, but they're like in their, teens to early 20s to whatever, who are big fans. Most of the time, a lot of time when you're in a festival like that, you're kind of not aware of everything and everybody around you. You're kind of focused on one thing, and you're not paying attention. Cause I'm pretty sure if that's the case, they died at the end of the day. Travis Scott didn't kill those people. The people did,
right?
Because of what was going on. And if more people had enough awareness to be like, okay, we're a little too close to each other, we could hurt each other, and slowly try to push back. But at the same time, in me saying that, I know how hard it is to kind of push back a wall of people,
I read, someone said that if you jumped in the air, you would just get stuck there. That's how tight it was.
Jesus. See, like, and how do you, I don't know, man. That's why I say it's like everybody's fault. And then a lot of people, I guess, want to, like I said, they put blame on Travis. But at the end of the day, like, it's easier to say that he should be canceled or that it's fault from the outside looking in.
Well, he has a festival coming up.
Which one was it?
Vegas. There's some
Day
big
and night?
show is that what it's called? The Vegas one?
I think so.
I saw somebody post it today, and he's the headliner.
Oh, is he?
That'll be interesting to see.
That's wild to see what he says, or if he says anything,
I'm sure he'll say something, but
he'll be like, hey, be safe.
I imagine they'll have a bunch more security and be more prepared, hopefully.
Probably. Because I think I actually have seen Kendrick just perform there.
Okay.
He had performed in like 2 years, and he was there performing, and everybody was talking about how great it was. But yeah, I'm pretty sure what's going to happen is that cause like all the other festivals to be like, okay, we can't let this happen at our festival. Right. Because at the end of the day, it'll probably be some time. I'm highly doubtful that Astroworld will come back next year. They'll probably take a year off.
Yeah.
Because they'll be like, we still got, this bad stuff on our name, so we have to kind of wait and make up for it.
I know one thing. I'm not a show-going guy, but any show I ever go to in the future, you will catch me at the back of the room.
That's where I am most of the time now. I don't like being in the front. When I was younger, I was there. But
at the Kendrick show, I was actually there early, and I could have been up front, but I purposefully was just in the middle.
Yeah. I feel it.
Yeah.
It makes sense. That's all it is. Yeah. Nowadays, I'm at the age and I'm at the point where I'm like, I don't have to be in the crowd.
I wonder if you're going to see that now.
Oh, more people in VIP.
Like damn, the front to middle is kind of light. Everybody's in the back.
Yeah. No, exactly.
Probably not.
But it's just crazy. What was I gonna say? But yeah, at the end of the day, Travis isn't gonna get canceled. I really think a lot of people who are saying that he should be canceled probably have something that they need to be canceled about. And they're just kind of like projecting, but that's just me.
Hey man. Be safe out there, man.
Exactly. Be safe. Make sure you drink water. Make sure you give each other space. I almost feel like another thing, the reason why is this happened was because we were in a pandemic. And
and people wanted to wild out.
Yeah. people were like, "Oh my God, we get to see Travis Scott, and everybody's gonna have all this energy. It's gonna be mosh pits."
I blame the Perk Fairy.
Yeah, I blame him too. Yep, you're going to jail, Perk Fairy.
Did you hear about the one cop that got stabbed or something? With
what? What are you talking about?
There was a police officer who supposedly got stabbed with like a needle and like drugs, and like he passed out.
What?
At the show. And
damn,
like
I didn't know that.
the Houston Police Department was like investigating it and like trying to find out what happened.
That's interesting.
Travis Scott fans are just running around stabbing people with drugs, man.
That's wild. At the same time, I'm not surprised. It makes sense that that type of energy would be there. But you know, that's wild.
Yeah, I won't be traveling to a Travis Scott show anytime soon.
Yeah, I kind of almost don't even want to go to like another festival.
I've never been to A3C is a festival. I have been to festivals. I feel like it's not the when I hear festival, I think of like Lollapalooza and like the big ones.
Okay,
What's the big
Lollapalooza
one in LA?
Coachella?
Yeah, I think of those.
Coachella. You know, and it's crazy
You've
to me.
never been to something like that, have you?
No, it's too expensive, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I feel like the only way I'd ever go would be if I was performing there, or if someone brought me there, like as a photographer. Yeah, just because I don't want to have to deal with all those people. Yeah. Like I avoid people like the plague. Like
what's the porta potty situation in those places?
I'm pretty sure they have like a line of porta potties, and you just kind of have to like wait.
Pretty sure it's disgusting.
Yeah, terrible. Probably is, because it makes me think of Afropunk. So like the way they have it set up is they have like a section of porta potties on the left and right, and you kind of let you know if it's occupied or not, and you go in and go out and back and forth. But what was I about to say? I was about to say, damn, what was it? It had to do with concerts. I can't remember. I don't know. But anyway, I was gonna bring up something. I had this in my notes. Don't want to talk about that. I kind of don't want to talk about that. I had this random idea. Not random idea, but random. This is going into like a deeper thought about this though.
About Travis
Buckle
Scott.
in. Well, no, about the reaction to Travis Scott and the way social media works. Let me make sure I got this right. Buckle in. I'm not prepared. Prepare yourself. Get ready to cry.
I'm not prepared.
Okay. It made me think. This is a thought that I have, and I'll probably talk about this again on my podcast. But the way that people handle, like what happened, like when they're tweeting and everybody's upset, the way. Hold on, let me take a break. Like, have I ever told you that I thought it was weird, like on TikTok and social media? Like, I always find it weird that people post videos of themselves crying, or will post emotional things that happen. I find that very weird, and I don't understand why people do it, because I almost feel like it. To me, I'm speaking for myself. It doesn't seem like a productive way to handle. You
feel like it's a little bit of a performance?
I don't know if it's a bit of a performance. It just doesn't seem like a healthy way to kind of express those emotions. But at the same time, I don't know.
I think that, not to get too deep and philosophical and, all that shit. But I think that society has been changed by social media.
Yes. Okay.
We used to have, used to isn't the right word. But I think our friends and the way we communicate has kind of changed. Because used to be you'd call your friend on the phone, or if you wanted to hang out with your friend, you would be in the same room with them or go out with them. Yeah. But now you can just check in with your friends. Oh, what are they doing? Their Instagram, their Twitter, or you just naturally see them come across your timeline. So I think the way we interact with the world now is more so social media. So whereas that person maybe used to cry to their friends or cry to themselves in their room and talk to someone about something in that way. Now they're putting it out on social media just as a means to express their emotion. Not necessarily that, I don't know. I think a lot of people interact with the world more so through their phone now.
I'm glad you said that, because I was like having this thought, and I was like, I was like, so pre-social media, the way you did that, what you were talking about, you call your friend,
Yeah.
or you do your thing, and it made me feel weird because I was like, is this generation's like way of kind of like getting those emotions out or sort of expressing those emotions?
That's my thought.
That's
either that or it's performative. Depending on the person, they want to get likes, they want to get views, you know what I mean? That kind of thing.
Exactly. And it's real interesting because then it makes me think of like, wow, I wonder like what it'll be like 10, 15 years from now. But to kind of bring it back, going on that, I had that thought in my head and I was like, okay, maybe this is just the way they deal with it or they express it. And then I guess maybe they feel some sort of connection from people being like, it'll be okay, it'll be all right. Versus like maybe me and you might be this is weird. I don't feel anything with that. I feel more so when I'm talking to somebody I'm close to.
Right.
But with the whole Travis Scott thing, the way that people kind of deal with like the emotions of being upset at Travis Scott or being upset at what happened, and it made me think of like maybe this is the next generation's way of learning how to kind of deal with conflict resolution. Or dealing with conflict. For example, like their way of kind of learning on how to eventually mature and grow up is like through social media interactions. Mm-hmm. So like maybe they'll be like, you know what? They tweet out these emotions, right? Rather than kind of like saying it to themselves or kind of thinking about it internally. So they tweet it out or they post videos like he should be canceled, he should be sued, blah, blah, blah. And then along these series of tweets of years or whatever, they kind of be like, oh wait, maybe that isn't the best way to go about things. And it made me feel a little weird because like the way we kind of learned about conflict resolution, hopefully, is we had either friends or parents who kind of be like, hey, this is not how you deal with things. You kind of should talk it out or you should go on about it a certain way, versus now everything's on your phone. You kind of learn it through social media in a certain type of way, versus whether it be good or bad.
Yeah.
And so that's just a random thought.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'm fully understanding the conflict resolution.
So like rather than, so what I'm saying is that everybody's in their phone more now. So I'm saying rather than having someone talk to you, like a parent or something like that, to teach you to be like someone maybe that you trust to, how do I resolve something that I have an issue with? They more so tweet out all these, what they're feeling and their emotions, and not realizing that might not be the way, or they don't have somebody to tell them, hey, this isn't the best way to do it. And they figure it out through social media and stuff.
Gotcha.
And so I don't know if you still understand.
I still don't exactly understand it, but I do think social media is a good way to let things out, because like holding things in and keeping things bottled in isn't really good.
True.
You know what I mean? But maybe putting it out there isn't good either. I don't know. Just go in the woods and
go hide. In the woods and hide. But it makes me think though. It makes me think like the way that people, I get, not bottling it up. Damn, what the fuck was I about to say? But like, I know what I was about to say. But I think what people need to realize is that the same way that they get to vent and get out their frustrations to the world, for every reaction, there's an opposite reaction coming back. Yes. What they don't realize sometimes, which I find it interesting, is some people don't like when they tweet something that they're like, they should be canceled. And then someone from the opposite end comes with them with just as strong of a force to them, and they get kind of shell shocked a little bit.
Right.
They don't realize that in order for it to be fair and even, you kind of have to, both parties have to be able to go back and forth.
So I'll say this. I think the cool thing about social media, right? There's an audience for everything.
Yes.
So it's like, there's very specific, like, okay, even say like basketball cards. Say there's this new thing that's going on and I could talk to you about it, but you don't really care about it. And that doesn't mean that, you don't care about me or don't care about what I have to say about certain things. Yeah. But you're not the audience for that. So I could go on Reddit. I could find places to talk to people to complain about this. Be like, oh, this is so messed up what they're doing with basketball cards. And there's an audience for everything. But I think what you're talking about with the Travis Scott thing is more so kind of piling on someone or kind of joining the crowd. Kind of like crowd think, like, oh, cancel culture. I don't know where I was going with that. But I do think that going online, you can find an audience,
Yeah.
for whatever you want to talk about, which is cool.
Yeah.
But I do think piling on to certain things isn't a good thing.
Yeah. I think what I'm trying to say, to kind of piggyback off of what you were saying before, that cancel culture thing. Mm-hmm. My thing is, I'm all for people saying, being allowed to be like, we should cancel this person. Mm-hmm. But I'm also all for people on the opposite and be like, no, we should talk shit to you for trying to cancel this person.
I saw something interesting.
What's that?
The recent musicians who were people were trying to cancel, or that they all like doubled, like statistically.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like their Spotify numbers doubled, and I won't get it right if I say it, and I forget exactly where I saw this info. But it's like the people recently that everyone was trying to get out of here, they doubled.
Yeah, it makes sense because it kind of brings more notoriety to them.
Yeah, and then people that probably weren't aware of that person was probably like, well, let me go listen to some stuff, see what they are.
They're like, shit.
And then the fans of that person are probably like, nah, fuck that. I'm a diehard fan. I'm going to play this guy 4 times as much this month.
Exactly. It's crazy how that works, because it kind of does the opposite of what people who want them to be canceled end up, they're like, we want to cancel them. Oh, no, you just made them more money. It's real funny, but it's really interesting. I'm always fascinated by humans, and I'm always fascinated by our emotions and shit that goes on, and how because when it comes to like Twitter and stuff, and how we kind of, I almost feel like if you get on social media, maybe every other time you kind of get a little dumber sometimes. It's not like always like a good thing, because I would say 80% of Twitter or like just internet is probably a lot of just garbage, It
is also dependent on the person, because True. If you want your timeline to only be about climate change, then you're just going to consume climate change all day. Yeah. But if your timeline is just booty shaking,
there's going to be a lot of cheeks shaking your timeline.
You open up, the thing, and it's going to be a lot of
jiggling. A lot of jiggling all over.
Can I say this though?
Yeah.
This is just a random weird fact that I saw the other day that I thought was really interesting about social media. Kids now, right? And this is I don't know. I'm pretty sure this is legit. I don't know what scientific study it was from or whatever, but
okay.
Kids, their peripheral vision, it's either like 50% or 70% worse than grown-ups. And it's because of the screen.
Okay.
So they're getting all this light in front of their face, and they're focused, and their peripheral vision isn't developing the way other people are, just because they get so much screen time every day compared to how things used to be.
That makes sense.
Crazy.
I thought you were about to say that the kids nowadays, they're so focused. I thought you were going to say the peripheral vision is 2 times as strong, like reptiles.
No, but they're so focused, they have no idea what's going on outside of their phone.
That makes perfect sense. There have been a couple times or like videos I've seen where I'm like, how did this person not see this thing? But it's because they were on their phone.
Yeah.
And they weren't like focused or anything. It's the same thing with sometimes people get into like little fender benders because they look at their phone, that their peripheral, they're not paying attention of like, how close somebody is or how far away they are.
Put your phone down while you're driving.
Put your phone down. Matter of fact, let's just go back to rotary phones.
This is the Grandpa Podcast. Welcome to the Old Man Podcast.
The Old Man Podcast. All the young kids are like, man, fuck these old guys.
I'm a fan. I'm a big Tetris fan.
That's hilarious. Oh my! I like my Lincoln logs. Like
I've been going hiking lately.
But hold on, let me stop.
What's the Lincoln log?
Lincoln log? You don't know what Lincoln logs are?
What is that?
That's like before Legos. They were like logs. You can make little log cabins.
Bro, you more old school than me. Damn.
I only know about that because of other people I knew. I never had any.
Well, I grew up in a log cabin, so.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Real wild man here.
Real log cabin.
Hey, and we're back.
That time.
It is that time of episode 46 of the Not All Here podcast, where we talk about not all here moments.
I got one.
You got one? Okay, I'm going to go first.
Mine's very weak. It's not even that funny, but it happened to me the other day. Do you get a lot of telemarketer calls?
I think I get like ever so often, not like a lot, but.
Dude, they call me constantly.
Damn, bro.
They call me like 10 times a day.
Okay.
And I used to play around with them, but now I'm pissed off. I'm tired of it.
Okay.
They'll call me about all kind of things. They do. They call me about final death expenses all the time, and I tell them, I'm like, yo, I'm not ready to die. I don't want to die yet. They think I'm old.
Oh wow.
I think it's because I lived with my grandma for a while, so they got kind of the stuff mixed up there.
Yeah.
And then they'll call me about car insurance or your car warranty. Sometimes I would mess with them and I'd be like, oh, well, can I get it on my tractor? And I'd just see how long I can keep them going. Or one time I was trying to get it for my Lamborghini.
Oh my God.
But the other day this guy called, and this one pissed me off because when they call, it comes from random names sometimes.
Okay.
In random areas. And this one came from Greenville Hospital.
Greenville Hospital.
And I was actually concerned at first because I was thinking, well, is this my parents? Like, there'd be no reason for them to be in Greenville, but I'm like, what the hell? So I talked to dude and I was like, yo, it's fucked up. You're calling me from a hospital. Like, or you're acting like you're calling from a hospital.
Oh, okay.
And he said, no, your phone is wrong. Fix your phone. I'm like, dude, there's nothing wrong with my phone. He's like, you need to get your phone update. You need to fix your phone. I'm like, you need to stop scamming me, dude. Like, stop being a scammer. He's like, no, you're the scammer.
What?
This dude flipped it on me.
What?
And I'm like, yo, like, can you please stop calling? And I was kind of rude, and I wasn't saying it exactly the way I'm saying it right
You're like,
now.
you fucking piece of shit.
But bro, this guy goes hard.
Oh, whoa.
He goes hard at his job. This guy said, no, we're going to keep calling and keep calling and keep calling and keep calling.
Whoa.
He said that. Damn. I just laughed and I hung up. I didn't know what to say back.
Did he call you back?
Well,
Did you block him?
I mean, how do you block them?
You just go into the number in your phone, and
but it's like a different number every time.
Oh, I just block every number.
They keep calling, yo.
That
guy goes hard at his job.
Damn, he was like, no, we're gonna keep calling. He kind of sounded like a politician.
He said, I'm the scammer.
Well, he sounded like a politician at the end, where he was like, and we're gonna go to Denver, and we're gonna go to Maryland, and we're gonna do this and do that, and we're gonna keep coming back till we win. Yeah.
So whoever you are, guy, you may have won the battle. That's
hilarious. I wonder if he was really heated. Like when he got off the phone, he's like, what the fuck? This dude hung up on me.
Well, wow. I mean, he didn't care that I hung up.
Yeah. He was real motivated at his job.
He was.
He was working for a bonus.
Yeah.
That's wild. That's hilarious. That you just heard that and you were like, what the fuck is going on? And you just laughed and hung up on him.
I just laughed. It caught me so off guard.
That's hilarious. Okay. Well, my not out here moment actually happened, I think, a few days ago, actually. I forgot all about it. It made me laugh so hard. So, every now and then, one of my favorite places that I enjoy going is, I think that a lot of Americans go. It's the good old Taco Bell.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, nice little taco here and there. Not too much every now and then, just enough. But so there's this Taco Bell that we actually have near our house. And it's notoriously a bad Taco Bell, meaning that like one day you don't know if they're open. The next day there's only one person working. Then the next day they're hiring new people. It's
the Chihuahua wasn't even their mascot.
No,
it was just a random dog.
It was like a Yorkie or something like that. But no. So there'd be times where I've gone there and it's been like really bad service and I'm like, man, this sucks. They need to like revamp this whole thing. But I was like, I think there was one time I was like, man, I'm never coming back here. And I even sent the email to Taco Bell, everything.
You emailed Taco Bell?
Yep, it was really bad because I was like, man, this shit sucks. These workers suck. They just suck. But at the same time, I can't be mad at them because it's a horrible job. Anyway.
Bro, what's the Latin version of a Karen?
Maria? No.
You were a Maria.
And it was funny. So I think this was a while back, weeks, maybe a month or two went by. And then I was like, I fancy some Taco Bell. And so I went up there recently and I was like, I'm just going to get me, maybe, 2 or 3 tacos and just come back to the house. So I went in there, put my order in through the drive-thru. And I was like, wow, okay, they're kind of efficient. They're moving quick. They must have got new management or just whatever. And it's dope. Get in there, put my order in through the drive-thru. They're like, all right, come pull up. I'm like, okay. Go into the window and this lady, she's really nice. She's like, hey, how are you doing? Then I'm like, damn, this is a switch. This is like a 180. And gave her my card, paid for it. She's like, okay, can you come around and park and I'll bring you the order out? Because they were like being backed up and stuff. I was like, bet. Went around, waited, and there were 2 other people that were waiting, and I was the third person. All of a sudden, the lady who was in the drive-thru came out, and she was like, she's like, did you come up for a mobile order to this person next to me? And she's like, yeah, that's me. And she's like, okay. And she's like, what did you have? And then I tell her my order. She's like, oh, okay. Yeah, here's your bag. And then like, I'm like, okay, bet. And I look through the bag and I'm like, this isn't my order. And then, but I was so lazy. I didn't want to go in there.
You just took it?
And because what I had ordered was like, I think $4. And then I was like, this is what they ordered is more than $4.
You just took it.
I just took I just took it. So I'm like, I'm playing Russian roulette. I don't know if this is going to be good or not. Cause I don't know what they got. You've done. And so I was like, okay, this is either going to be really good or it's going to be really bad. Came home, whatever, sat down, and I was like, okay, here we go.
How'd it turn out?
It actually really great. It was actually a really good time. Like whoever ordered that, they had great taste, but I couldn't help but think the other person being like, where the fuck is my order? And then I can't help but them, or the other way where they get my order and they're like, this is a shitty order. Like
they probably complained.
Right. Like, you guys can't do your job. And then, or I can only imagine the woman who brought me my order being like, wait, did I give him the wrong order? But it was like really crazy because I was just like, you know, most of the time I'd be like, no, this is my order. But then I was like, no, this is more expensive than my order.
Fuck it.
This dude got money. And so it was real funny. Watch, now Taco Bell's going to DM me. Hey, you owe us.
Nah, you're good, bro.
That's hilarious. But anyway, had a good time. Make sure to visit your local Taco Bell.
Or not.
Or, you know, wherever you go.
I mean, they got rid of the Mexican pizza.
Oh, yeah.
And they got rid of the double-decker taco. I haven't been back.
Damn, since then, you're protesting?
Bro.
Damn.
I'm a man of my word.
I hope they never took away my favorite's the Cheesy Gordita Crunch.
We'll do it eventually.
No, they better not.
They'll always stab you in the back.
I'll riot them. But that's episode 46 of the Not All Here podcast. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in or watching. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you subscribe on that YouTube. If you're listening to us on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, make sure you subscribe, rate, and review. Really helps us reach new listeners. Make sure you follow the podcast on Instagram at Not All Here Podcast. Yeah. Follow Cool Ass People. Our personal pages. Mine is It's Easy L and Jetty.
My personal page, JRB, the producer.
You turned Caribbean there. Me personal page.
On all the platforms.
There you go. Follow them. And also, go to your Taco Bell. If you got room for it. But anyway, we're out of here. Yeah. Peace.